Americans spent $2.6 billion on OnlyFans in 2025. That's billion, with AB. With AB for bro, what are we doing? To put that in perspective, that's more than the GDP of 30 entire countries. We've officially become the thirstiest nation on planet Earth, and I have the receipts. And trust me, you're going to want to hear this because these numbers are absolutely insane. But before we dive into this absolute madness, do me a favor. Smash that subscribe button right now because clearly, you need someone to tell you what humanity is up to while you were busy living your life. And drop a comment below telling me if you're surprised by these numbers, or if you're part of the problem. No judgment here. Okay, maybe a little judgment. Actually, a lot of judgment. But drop that comment anyway, because I need to know I'm not the only one who thinks this is absolutely bonkers. Welcome back to Trust Me Fam, the channel where we analyze the internet's chaos, society's questionable decisions, and the data that makes you go, wait, what? So you don't have to lose sleep over it. I'm your host, and today we're talking about OnlyFans spending in 2025, and folks, the numbers are absolutely wild. We're not here to shame anyone. Okay, maybe we're here to shame humanity just a little bit. But mostly, we're here to understand how we got to a place where Americans are spending more on digital content than some countries spend on their entire healthcare systems, education, and infrastructure combined. And before you think this is just about one thing, let me tell you, this goes deep. This is about economics, culture, loneliness, the creator economy, and why Americans apparently have money for everything except the things we complain about not being able to afford. So buckle up, because we're about to go on a journey through the wild world of digital spending, and by the end of this video, you're either gonna laugh, cry, or have an existential crisis about what we're doing as a society. Maybe all three. Probably all three. All right, let's break down these numbers because they need to be broken down slowly, like you're explaining to your grandparents what the internet is. The United States leads the entire world with $2.63 billion spent on OnlyFans in 2025. That's not a typo. That's not an exaggeration. That's cold, hard data that someone had to compile, and I guarantee you that person questioned their career choices while doing it. $2.6 billion. Let me put that into perspective for you with some comparisons that'll make your brain hurt. Food comparisons. That's enough money to buy 526 million cups of coffee at Starbucks. That's roughly 1.6 cups of coffee for every single American. Every single one. You could buy 1.3 billion Big Macs with that money. That's 4 Big Macs for every person in America. That's enough to buy 867 million avocados. You know, that thing millennials apparently spend too much on instead of buying houses? Real-world comparisons. You could pay for full college tuition for about 50,000 students for an entire year at an average state university. That's more than the annual budget of NASA's Mars exploration program. You could buy 52,000 brand new Toyota Camrys, which is a weirdly specific comparison, but I wanted you to visualize a parking lot filled with cars that stretches for miles. That's enough to give every homeless person in America over $45,000 each. But here's my favorite comparison. Americans complain about not being able to afford healthcare, housing, or education. The average American household carries about $7,000 in credit card debt. But somehow, we collectively found $2.6 billion for OnlyFans subscriptions. Make it make sense. I'll wait. The United Kingdom, America's less thirsty cousin. Now, the UK comes in second place with $531 million. That sounds like a lot until you realize it's only a fifth of what Americans spent. The British showed up to this competition, looked at America's number, and said, bloody hell, mate, that's a bit much, innit? And they're right. $531 million is the kind of restrained spending that says, yes, we participate in modern digital culture, but we also have tea time and maintain some semblance of dignity. That's the difference between America and the UK summed up in OnlyFans spending data. We're out here spending like there's no tomorrow, and they're spending like they still have to report to the Queen. Oh wait, they have a king now. See, I can keep up with current events better than most OnlyFans subscribers can keep up with their budget. Canada takes bronze, and we need to talk about it. Canada comes in third with $355 million, and honestly, I get it. I understand. It's cold up there. Like, really cold. We're talking about a country where winter lasts approximately 9 months of the year, and the other 3 months are just slightly less cold. What else are Canadians going to do? Go outside? Participate in outdoor activities? In that weather? No, they're inside, staying warm, drinking Tim Hortons, saying sorry to their Alexa when they give it commands, and apparently spending $355 million on OnlyFans. And you know what? I respect it. At least they have an excuse. They're basically trapped in an igloo for half the year. That's a valid reason. But here's where it gets interesting. And by interesting, I mean absolutely hilarious. Italy spent the same as Canada. Italy also spent $355 million. Let me repeat that. Italy, the country with Mediterranean climate with beautiful warm weather, world-class cuisine that people travel across the globe to experience, literally invented the concept of la dolce vita, the sweet life, has beaches, culture, art, history, fashion, and every possible real-world entertainment option. And they're spending the same amount as Canadians who are literally trapped inside ice fortresses for 6 months. Italians have the Amalfi Coast, the Colosseum, the best pasta in the world, wine that costs less than water, and a culture that literally invented doing nothing beautifully. It's called dolce far niente. Look it up. And they still spent $355 million on OnlyFans. Italy, I need you to explain this to me. You have everything. You have literally everything going for you. Your country is a vacation destination. People dream of visiting your country. And yet, here you are, spending the same as Canada on digital content. Something's not adding up, Italia. Did the pasta run out? Did the wine stop flowing? Did everyone suddenly forget how to go outside and experience La Dolce Vita? I'm not mad, Italy. I'm just disappointed. Actually, I'm a little mad. You're better than this. Mexico and the respectable $291 million. Mexico comes in fifth with $291 million. And you know what? That's respectable. That's the kind of number that says, yes, we participate in the global digital economy, but we also have priorities. Mexico has beautiful beaches, incredible food, rich culture, and some of the friendliest people on the planet. And they're showing more financial restraint than the United States, UK, Canada, and Italy. Mexico saw what everyone else was spending and said, nah, we're good. We'll just spend $291 million and call it a day. That's the energy we should all have. That's the I'm participating, but I'm not going broke over it energy. Take notes, America, France, Australia, and Germany, the $237 million club. Then we have France, Australia, and Germany all tied at $237 million each. All three, like they had a meeting and decided, hey, should we keep this respectable? Yeah, let's cap it at $237 million. Nobody goes over. We shake on it. France, I get it. You guys invented romance, wine culture, and existentialism. You're probably spending that money while philosophically questioning the nature of desire and human connection. That's very on-brand for you. Australia, you're spending $237 million despite having some of the most beautiful beaches in the world and a culture that's all about being outdoors. But you also have animals that want to kill you at every turn, so maybe staying indoors and subscribing to OnlyFans is the safer option. I can't argue with that logic. Germany, you're known for efficiency and precision. You probably have a spreadsheet tracking your OnlyFans spending, color-coded by category, with projected ROI calculations. That's the most German thing ever, and I respect it. Brazil and Spain, the $194 million twins. Brazil and Spain bring up the rear of the top 10, both at $194 million each. Brazil, the country known for carnival, the Amazon rainforest, beautiful beaches, soccer, and a culture that literally celebrates life and joy at every opportunity, is showing more restraint than the United States. Let that sink in. The country that throws one of the world's biggest parties every single year is spending less than Americans who can't even agree on what day to celebrate Thanksgiving without arguing about it on Twitter. And Spain? España? The country with siestas, incredible food, perfect weather, and a lifestyle that the rest of the world tries to emulate? You're spending the same as Brazil and showing that you have better things to do than pour all your money into subscriptions. Both of you are doing great. Gold star. You get it. What does $2.6 billion actually mean in context? Okay, Let's get serious for a moment because $2.6 billion is a number so large that our brains can't really comprehend it. So let me give you some context that'll help you understand just how much money this is. Compared to other industries, Americans spend about $11 billion on movie tickets per year. So OnlyFans spending is roughly 25% of what we spend on actual movies and theaters. We spend about $30 billion on video streaming services like Netflix, Disney+, HBO, and all the others combined per year. OnlyFans is almost 10% of that. The entire U.S. video game industry revenue is about $57 billion per year. OnlyFans is about 5% of that from the U.S. alone. So basically, OnlyFans has positioned itself as a legitimate competitor to traditional entertainment industries. It's not some small niche market anymore. It's a major player in the entertainment economy. Compared to what we say we can't afford, Americans collectively owe about $1.77 trillion in student loan debt. That $2.6 billion could pay off the student loans for about 50,000 people completely. The average American says they can't afford a $400 emergency expense. Yet we're spending billions on subscriptions. We constantly hear that Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, with 60% of Americans having less than $1,000 in savings. But here we are. I'm not saying people who use OnlyFans are the same people who are struggling financially. That's not the point. The point is that as a nation, we've decided that this is where a significant portion of our discretionary income is going. And that's fascinating from a sociological perspective. The math behind the madness. Let's do some real calculations here because I'm a nerd and I want to understand this. If we assume the average OnlyFans subscription costs about $15 to $20 per month, some are cheaper, some are way more expensive, but let's use this as an average. And we assume that most subscribers have multiple subscriptions, because let's be real, people aren't subscribing to just one. Then, $2.6 billion divided by 12 months equals $216.7 million per month. If the average person spends $50 per month across multiple subscriptions, that's about 4.3 million active American subscribers. That's roughly 1.3% of the entire U.S. population actively subscribing. But here's where it gets interesting. OnlyFans takes a 20% cut of all earnings. That means creators are taking home about $2.08 billion of that $2.6 billion after the platform takes its fee. So OnlyFans, the company, made about $520 million just from U.S. users alone. That's insane. That's a $500 million company just from taking a 20% cut of transactions. The creator economy is real, folks. The geographic breakdown is wild. Let's talk about what these numbers mean geographically. The United States has about 335 million people. We spent $2.6 billion. That's roughly $7.76 per person in America, including babies, grandmas, everyone. The UK has about 67 million people. They spent $531 million. That's roughly $7.93 per person. Wait, hold up. The UK spent more per capita than the United States? Let me recalculate that. Yeah, the UK actually spent more per person than America did. So while America wins in total spending, the UK is actually thirstier per capita. That's the plot twist nobody saw coming. Canada, 39 million people, $355 million spent equals $9.10 per person. Canada is the thirstiest per capita so far. Italy, 60 million people, $355 million equals $5.92 per person. Okay, so Italy is actually pretty reasonable per capita. This changes everything. When we look at per capita spending, 1. Canada, $9.10 per person, the thirst champions. 2. UK, $7.93 per person. 3. USA, $7.76 per person. 4. Australia, $9 per person. Wait, let me check. Yeah, with 26 million people, they're actually second place. So the real story is that Australia and Canada are the thirstiest countries per capita, and America is just winning on volume because we have more people. This is the kind of investigative journalism you don't get anywhere else, folks. What does this say about society? All right, let's put on our sociology hats for a minute and really think about what this means. 1. We're lonelier than ever. The pandemic fundamentally changed how we interact with other humans. A lot of people found alternative ways to connect, and OnlyFans became one of those ways. It's not just about the content. It's about the parasocial relationships, the feeling of connection, the personalized interaction. Studies show that loneliness in America has reached epidemic levels. The Surgeon General literally called it a public health crisis. So it's not surprising that platforms offering personalized, one-on-one style interaction are booming. People aren't just paying for content. They're paying for connection, even if it's simulated. 2. The stigma has completely evaporated. 10 years ago, admitting you subscribe to adult content platforms would have been taboo. Now, OnlyFans is mainstream. Celebrities openly have accounts. It's advertised on podcasts. It's discussed casually in conversation. The cultural shift around this has been massive. We've gone from something people do but don't talk about to a normal part of the digital economy in less than a decade. That's the kind of rapid cultural change that usually takes generations. 3. We value convenience over everything. Why go outside, socialize, meet people, navigate the complex world of human relationships when you can just subscribe to content from your couch? I'm being a little facetious here, but there's truth to it. We live in a convenience economy. We want everything on demand, personalized, and delivered to us. OnlyFans fits perfectly into that model. It's the Amazon Prime of adult content. Fast, convenient, and exactly what you ordered. The creator economy is real, and it's here to stay. OnlyFans has created a legitimate income source for thousands of people. Love it or hate it, it's part of the creator economy now. Some creators are making life-changing money, paying off student loans that would have taken decades, buying houses in cash, building investment portfolios, starting other businesses with their earnings. The top 1% of OnlyFans creators are making millions per year. The top 10% are making six figures. That's life-changing money for people who might have been stuck in minimum wage jobs or struggling to make ends meet. Is it for everyone? No. Does it come with downsides and risks? Absolutely. But it's undeniably creating economic opportunities that didn't exist before. We have disposable income for weird stuff. This is the part that gets me. We'll complain about egg prices going up by $2, gas prices fluctuating, inflation making everything more expensive, and then collectively spend $2.6 billion on OnlyFans subscriptions. We'll say we can't afford healthcare, but we've got $20 per month for subscriptions. We'll say we can't afford to save for retirement, but we've got money for this. I'm not saying everyone who subscribes to OnlyFans is financially irresponsible. That's not the point. The point is that as a society, we've decided that this is a priority. We've decided this is worth spending money on. And that says something about our values and priorities. The global perspective, America in context. Let's zoom out even further. The global spending on OnlyFans is estimated to be somewhere around $5 to $6 billion annually. That means the United States accounts for roughly 40 to 50% of global OnlyFans spending. America has about 4% of the world's population. So we're punching way above our weight in this particular category. We're not just leading, we're dominating. We're the LeBron James of OnlyFans spending. The Tom Brady. The Serena Williams. Pick your sports metaphor, we're crushing it. And I'm not sure if that's something we should put on our tourism brochures or something we should quietly not mention at international conferences. Welcome to America, land of the free, home of the brave, leader in OnlyFans spending. That's not exactly the legacy the founding fathers envisioned, but here we are. The business model is genius, diabolical. Let's talk about why OnlyFans as a business is absolutely printing money. The platform's cut. They take 20% of all transactions. That's it. They don't create content. They don't market individual creators much. They just provide the platform and take 20%. From US users alone, that's $520 million in revenue. Their operating costs are relatively low compared to traditional media companies. No content creation costs. No talent scouting and signing. No production budgets. Minimal customer service. Mostly automated systems. It's the perfect business model. Creators do all the work, take all the risk, and OnlyFans just collects 20% of everything. That's brilliant. Diabolical, but brilliant. The subscription model psychology. Subscriptions are psychological gold because people forget about them and keep paying. Small monthly charges don't feel like a lot. The Netflix effect. We're trained to accept multiple subscriptions. Sunk cost fallacy. Once you're subscribed, you feel like you should stay subscribed to get your money's worth. Someone paying $20 per month might not realize they're spending $240 per year. That's real money. That's a car payment. That's groceries for a couple weeks. But spread out monthly? It doesn't feel like much. Multiple that by millions of people, and you see why this business model works so well. Where's this going? The trajectory of OnlyFans spending has been going up consistently. 2019, relatively unknown. 2020, pandemic boom. 2021 to 2022, continued growth. 2023 to 2025, stabilized but still massive. So where does this go from here? Scenario 1, the plateau. We might be reaching peak OnlyFans. The market might be saturated. Everyone who's going to subscribe probably already has. Spending might stabilize around these levels. Scenario 2, continued growth. As the stigma continues to decrease and more people become comfortable with the platform, spending could keep increasing. We might see $3 to $4 billion from the US in the next few years. Scenario 3, the competition. Other platforms are already trying to compete. If better platforms emerge with better features or lower fees, spending might shift, but not decrease overall. Scenario 4, cultural shift. There could be a cultural backlash or shift. Maybe people will get tired of parasocial relationships and crave real connections again. Maybe spending decreases as people realize they're spending mortgage payment money on subscriptions. My prediction? We're probably in Scenario 1 with elements of Scenario 3. The market is likely saturated, but competition will keep things interesting. The tax implications nobody talks about. Here's something interesting. OnlyFans creators have to pay taxes on their earnings. That $2.08 billion that creators took home, the IRS wants their cut. Assuming an average tax rate of 25 to 30%, including federal, state, and self-employment taxes, that's about $520 to $625 million in tax revenue generated from OnlyFans creator earnings. So in a weird way, OnlyFans is actually generating significant tax revenue for the government. The IRS is probably thrilled about this whole thing. It's like a voluntary tax on horniness. The founding fathers definitely didn't see that coming. The content creator perspective. Let's be fair and look at this from the creator side. For many creators, OnlyFans is flexible work they can do on their own schedule. Significantly better pay than many traditional jobs. Full control over their content and brand. Direct relationship with their audience/customers. Path to financial independence. The top creators are running full businesses. Hiring photographers and videographers. Managing social media marketing. Creating content calendars. Handling customer service. Dealing with taxes and business expenses. It's not just easy money. Successful creators are entrepreneurs running legitimate businesses. They're dealing with all the challenges any small business owner faces, plus the added stigma and safety concerns that come with this particular industry. The reality check, 16 to 1800 hours. Let's be honest about what this means. I've spent this entire video making jokes and throwing statistics at you, but let's get real for a minute. The positive side. People have bodily autonomy and can make their own choices about what content to create or consume. Creators are making legitimate income, sometimes life-changing income. It's a consensual transaction between adults. The platform has created economic opportunities. In many ways, it's safer and more controlled than traditional alternatives in this industry. The concerning side. $2.6 billion is a lot of money that could be going toward other things. Some people are definitely spending money they can't afford to spend. Parasocial relationships can be unhealthy. The normalization of constant paid intimate content might have societal effects we haven't fully understood yet. There are legitimate concerns about addiction, unrealistic expectations, and social isolation. The balance take. Like most things in life, it's complicated. It's not all good or all bad. It's a thing that exists, people participate in it, and it has both positive and negative aspects. What I think is most interesting is what it reveals about us as a society. We're lonelier than we want to admit. We're willing to pay for convenience and personalization. We value direct creator relationships. We have disposable income for digital content. Cultural stigmas are fading faster than ever. The line between entertainment and intimacy is blurring. The bottom line, $2.6 billion from the United States alone is a massive number that represents millions of transactions, thousands of creators making a living, a platform making hundreds of millions, a cultural shift in how we view content and relationships, an economy within an economy. Is it good? Is it bad? That's for you to decide. What I can tell you is that it's real, it's significant, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Look, I'm not here to judge how anyone spends their money. Okay, I'm absolutely here to judge how we collectively spend $2.6 billion. But on an individual level, you do you. Your life, your choices, your bank account. What I am saying is that Americans have officially claimed the throne as the world's biggest OnlyFans supporters in total spending, though Canada and Australia are coming for that per capita crown. And that's a title we'll probably hold for a while. UK, Canada, Italy, and everyone else, better luck next year. Actually, maybe don't try harder. Maybe this is one category where second place is just fine. Maybe we should all collectively try for 10th place. Or maybe we should all just go outside more, touch some grass, have a conversation with a real human being. Just thoughts. But what do I know? I'm just a guy making videos about internet statistics while probably overthinking everything. The real question is, what are we going to spend $2.6 billion on next year? My bet is it's going to be even higher. We're Americans. We don't do moderation. We do everything big, including our OnlyFans spending apparently. If this video made you laugh, cry, question humanity's choices, or have an existential crisis about modern society, do me a favor and hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button for Trust Me Fam, because I dive into more internet absurdity, weird statistics, and cultural phenomena that make you go, wait, what? Drop a comment below and tell me, are you surprised by these numbers? Did you know America was this thirsty? What country do you think will take the #1 spot next year? Should I do more videos analyzing weird spending habits? What other bizarre statistics should I investigate? And here's a wild idea. Share this video with someone who also needs a reality check about how we're spending money as a society. Send it to your friend who's always complaining about being broke, but has 7 streaming service subscriptions. You know who I'm talking about. We all have that friend. If you made it to the end of this video, you're a real one. Comment down below so I know you actually watched the whole thing and didn't just skip to the end. I see you skip to the end, people. I know you're out there. And hey, if you learned something today, even if it's just that we need better hobbies as a society or that Canada is thirstier per capita than America, consider that a win. This has been Trust Me Fam, where we analyze the internet so you can feel better about your own life choices. Or worse, probably worse, but at least you're informed. Stay curious, stay skeptical, stay hydrated, touch grass, call your mom, and maybe, consider what you're spending $20 a month on and whether it's really worth it. But also, no judgment. Live your truth. Just maybe live it with a budget spreadsheet. I'm out. Peace. Victory hand.